Hello and welcome to Interstorm Games Presents. My name is Richard Cree. This is my co-host and oldest daughter Piper. And we're back. We were off the air for a little bit, had some stuff going on. Find it tough to get back to the table, to get in front of the camera to get some recorded, but we're back. And we're going to keep going with our playthrough of Robinson Crusoe, the adventures on the Cursed Island. But before we get to the back of the table, though, I do want to give an important shout out to Troop 451. Thanks, guys, for letting us come out and talk to you about board games and helping with the Board Game Merit Badge. We had a great time, and we look forward to when everybody gets their badge and we can sit down and play games and have a big, huge game day. Looking forward to that. But in the meantime, we're going to play some games here. We're going to get on with Robinson Crusoe and see if we can get a few more turns of that under our belts.
And then with the bubbles.
You are castaways on a deserted island. It is the end of summer. You have to prepare for winter, build shelter, a roof, and a palisade. It will be difficult to survive during the tough months of autumn and winter. You also have to build a pile of wood so you can light it on fire when you spot a ship on the horizon to call for help.
The goal of this scenario, Castaways, is to have built the fire item and a pile of wood, which is the box on the right, by the 10th, 11th, or 12th turn. Wood cubes can only be placed before the action phase from left to right. You can put any number of wood cubes on the pile, but no more than one column per round. Succeed in this, and you win. Additional effects of this scenario include that the book icon will have no effect, neither will the totem icon. We can earn victory points, for 1 victory point for each life icon that we have at the end of the game, 2 victory points for each weapon level we have, 3 for each roof level, 4 for each pile of wood we have, per pile column, and 2 victory points each level of palisade that we have. Items available to us in this game that we'll be able to build, in addition to the ones already on the board, will be the mast, which will allow us +3 wood only for the pile, or the hatchet, which will be a +1 wood icon on the tile with my camp. The signal icons will represent healing wounds, oil for the pile, which is 2 wood, a pirate saber, which will give us 1 level of weapon, and a medallion with a lady, which is 3 morale. Alright, so here we are back at the board as we left it at the end of our last episode. The action phase for turn 3. We need to get lots of wood, and we need to get fire. And we need to... pot would help to get the cure to help us get some wounds healed. And I want to build a shelter because we have weather dice coming up soon. Wow. Well, it's a good place to build my shelter. I like where that's at, but I also want to go exploring. So let's have we can explore here. We can send Friday. Or actually, I'll have Friday and the dog go and explore, and then I will build a shelter here. And what happens? Oh, we're going to take a wound though if we don't resolve that. Oh, I don't have a knife. A knife needs mountains. We don't have mountains. We don't have the knife anyway. So we're all going to take a wound this turn. I guess we're going to take a wound. Alright. That's it, I think. We'll have to roll dice over here for our build action. But let's go ahead and resolve the exploration action here with Friday and the dog. And they are going to find... oh, mountains! Sweet! So there's our mountains that we need. Alright, so we have mountains. And we need a discovery token. It's going to, oh, the X. Alright, what does the X do? It's a pirate saber, and it'll give us +1 to our weapon level, which is currently at 0. We can't use that now, though. We'll have to wait until it becomes available at the end of the action phase. We need to add a card to our beast deck. I'm going to reach across and add a card there. And there is a shelter here. Let me do a quick rules gut check and find out exactly, refresh my memory on what that shelter on the tile does for us. Alright, so the rules gut check shows that the difference between this shelter and if I build one here is that this one cannot be moved. It's here, it came up, but if I choose to move this one to another tile later on, I can do that. But I'll have to move my camp tile here to show that this is where I'm building my, to make that my shelter and my camp. Which means that I then won't get the benefit of, really want my shelter here so I can explore, or excuse me, pull resources from these tiles for just two explorers, because you remember the rules. For every extra hectare away from your camp, it requires one extra pawn. So for here, I could explore with one and roll a dice, or succeed with two. If I were to go here, or excuse me, if my camp was here and then I wanted to explore this one, then that would cost me 1, 2, and I still have to roll a dice, but 3 would be a guaranteed success. So I think I really want to build my camp here, because that will give me the biggest circumference of exploration and ability. So I've already determined that I was going to build my camp here anyway, so we'll go ahead and roll the build dice and see what happens. But oh, you know what? I can't even do that because it takes 2 wood or 1 fur. So I can't do that. So that was almost a wasted action there because I don't have the resources to do that. So I'm going to back up a step and I'm actually going to place it there. That's an action I can't do. And we'll just do the camp. We'll take 2 determination tokens, plot them there, and we'll move up the morale 1. And then there'll be no rolling of the dice this turn. Return me here. And that ends our action phase for this turn. We'll move our X down. And we shall move on to the weather phase. Ooh, the weather phase. Still not rolling any dice this turn, so we'll be able to skip the weather phase, and we'll move on to the night phase. Night phase, still don't have a shelter, did not get it built. So we'll take a wound, slide that down, let's eat our food to make it through the night. Okay, and that's going to take us into round 4. Alright, so now into round 4. The first thing we can do is get rid of the effects of the blowgun. We have that worker back now. And I think that is all for that. Let's go ahead and kick off with the event phase. We'll flip our card over. Raging River. So the first thing we're going to do, it has a produce resources open on it. So we'll put that there. So next time we have to draw, the next one we'll do an exploration action, we have to draw from that pile. And it says during the production phase of this round, we only get half the amount of produced resources rounded down. Ooh, that's a tough river. Alright then. I'm going to move this down here. Poisoning is going to take effect, and we're going to take a wound. So I'll move that down. Alright, and that's going to take us down into the morale phase. We do still have 1 on the morale for now, so we'll get another determination token. Oh wow. Well, what I want to do before we go any further is I want to use my Explorer ability of motivational speech. I want to discard 3 of these tokens and move the morale up by 1, 2, and that's actually in preparation for that body on the beach, which is probably going to go away next turn, and will force us to move our morale down 2, back down to 0. Alright, round 3 then is produce resources. Now due to our Raging River card that we had, we're only going to get half the resources, which means either food or wood. I'm going to say food, even though we really need that wood. Man. Alright. So, let us then move on to the action phase. So we've got 4 pawns available now. The dog is only available for exploration and hunting. Not gone hunting yet, but I have no weapon level, so I really don't think that's a good idea. Let's try and definitely want to build a shelter because we've got the rain coming in. Oh, I could roll a lot of dice. I need that wood too. I need wood to build a shelter. So we're going to have to try and get some wood and then try and build, and that means the dog actually is not going to be doing anything this turn. Still got our way around to building some fire at some point in time. The fire will actually give us +1 to a palisade. We don't have a shelter to build a palisade around yet anyway, so we're just going to get that shelter built. Alright, let's do this. So let's start with getting some wood. So we need lots of wood. We'll start with Friday. Friday has a success, and he takes a wound for his action card, or for the question mark. Let's move Friday down 1. Oh, and Friday doesn't ever draw from that deck, though. So we'll just go. We're gonna have to. This question mark here means we're going to. This token means we have to resolve an action card, regardless of how many pawns were committed. I'm actually going to hold off and do that on my turn. Because Friday doesn't draw cards from the deck. So that's my opinion of how we extend the theme of the rules. So we're going to go ahead and go. But in the meantime, Friday did get some wood. So we'll put wood there. And our future available resources. And Friday can come back. Now I will roll the dice again. Alright, we had a success. So we'll get another wood. And even though I don't have a question mark on here, I have to resolve this produce resources card because of that, because of our event card from earlier. And that's a pirate's chest. This is pretty good. After a windy night, I find a new path on the island. It leads you to a pirate's hideout. We can discard this card or draw 2 mystery cards. If we do put the, or we don't want to put this in the event deck. That'll be bad luck, and each player has only 1 pawn available, and then draw another card. Oh, it says only resolve treasure cards on this though, so maybe we'll want to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to draw. Okay, so I found a barrel, and we found an antique rapier. All right, here we go. All right, so let's see. We have a barrel. A barrel you can't believe your own eyes, and it's still in good condition. What's inside? A miracle! It's burgundy wine. It says we can keep this card and use once during a night phase, and we can heal a wound. Well, that's good. And then after use, we can store up to 2 food on this card. The food does not rot during the night phase. Well, that's kind of good news too. We could have used that before when we had our 2 food token. We could have stashed it in there and held on to it. But that's fine, that's a barrel. We can be able to heal a wound during our night phase. And then we have an antique rapier. Apparently this island was visited before. We began to wonder, did this weapon belong to a soldier or a pirate? Probably a pirate, since we found the pirate's chest. And that rapier actually lets us move our weapon ability up to 2. So that's good. That's very good. Maybe we can go hunting next round. So we've got some wood now, which I still don't have available this turn, so I can't build the resources. I can turn this in though and get another weapon level. So we'll do that. We found another pirate saber that we found. Oh, goodness. I'll tell you what, since I don't have... this is going to be painful. I'll go ahead and get the fire. I know I placed there, but yeah, I need another wood. So we'll go ahead and build fire instead. And it's just me, so I'll have to roll the dice. Let's get the production dice out of the way, and we'll roll these dice. We have a success. Success. I'm going to take a wound, and we're going to draw a card. So let me move that wound marker down, and let me draw a card. And it's the Visit of a Predator. While working on my camp, the camp is visited by a predator, and it eats our food and escape. So discard all of our food, and then shuffle this into the event deck. Oh my goodness. Alright, so our food is gone. Alright, so now this gets shuffled into the event deck. Oh, but, so one hand, you know, we got our fire. So we do have fire to meet our condition over here. Woohoo! So we can light our bonfire if we can never get it built. We have a lot to go, and we're going to take a big hit during this night phase. So that's how it is. Let's get that out of there. These now move down. Oh, we're on turn 4. I forgot to move that turn marker. And, wow. So a bittersweet action phase. I should have just done the morale, or the camp instead, or healing a wound, because things are going to go bad really fast here during this upcoming night phase. But first we have the weather phase, which means for the first time we're going to roll the orange rain dice, and we rolled a single cloud. Now I'm going to use this token here to remove that cloud because we'd have to discard a food and a wood to because of our roof level. We have no roof on our shelter yet. We don't have a shelter built yet. We do have the wood for the shelter, so I can use this token though to discard. It'll cancel out that rain cloud, and that'll help us a little bit, at least until next turn. But now comes the night phase. So we have no food. Oh wait, yes we do, don't we? No, we don't. So we are going to, let's see, what are some things we can do here? Try and get food during the night phase. Not too much. Okay, we're going to lose 2 wounds because we don't have any food to eat. So that's 1, 2. Part of that's going to move our morale down 1. And then that's going to get ready to take us into, our wood is fine. We had the discovery token that let us cancel out that rain, so our wood did not get wet. We're okay there. Wow. Alright. So that's going to take us then to turn 5. Alright, so turn 5. Let's get ready to go into the event phase. So first thing that's going to happen is we're going to draw an event card. Excuse me. This is a thunderstorm. A thunder hits a tree and starts a fire. We're going to add, once again, to the production. And then the closest wood tile, camp tile possible, is exhausted. Place a marker on it. There's no wood. Great. If there's no wood, each player gets a wound. Unfortunately, we did have a wood on there. But this thunderstorm is going to move down here. And it's going to push Body on the Beach off, which means we're going to have our morale move down 2 to -1. Which then takes us into the morale phase, where fortunately we do have a determination token to discard for the morale phase. I'll get that morale back up. Alright, and that will take us into the produced resources phase. And don't worry, I did shuffle the Pirate's Chest card into the event deck, so it is in there. The produced resources phase. So normally we get wood and fish. Wood and food. We're only going to get food this turn because the wood is exhausted for this turn. Wow. So we need to get a shovel and a worker to start separating the fire to get that fixed. Man. Well, I guess we know what we're doing this round as far as actions go. Okay, so we need to build a shovel, and we need to Uncover what's going to happen when this one goes off. When Raging River goes off, there's no production phase this next round. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's think how we want to do that. Yes, we'll do separating the fire. We'll do that action. That'll actually help keep Raging River from sliding off next turn. So that's good. That's good, that's good. That means we don't get a shelter built this turn, so we may have to do Friday here. We need that shelter big time. Or else we're going to lose all of our wood, unless we send the wood there now. Because you have to send the wood over before we do our actions. So we need anything that needs wood right now, aside from trying to build that needs 2. I have a 3 on our hunting. Try to go hunting and get some fur, but that's not a guarantee. And the rain will destroy the food beforehand also. Okay. Let's do this. Let's have... Oh, there's no food around the camp. You can't go get food. You can't get food from the camp. And then you can only produce resources in an area adjacent to the camp. And there's no food adjacent to the camp. So all we have is that one food, which is important too. I have a bad feeling this is going to take a very not good turn for us. Alright, I think this is about as good as we can get for now. So let's try building. Alright, Friday ignores the wound. You just take a success for this. Actually, does Friday ignore that wound? Let's do a rules gut check real quick. So it's like Friday still takes wounds on the dice, either from the question mark or from the wound marker, so one more down for Friday. But it was a success. We have a shelter built. That's pretty good. Oh, because we haven't had a shelter built, we should have been taking wounds. We need to add some wounds there for sleeping out in the open. We haven't done that. So we're down pretty low. Actually, I have 4 wounds left to get caught up. Okay, it's alright. We can do this. Now we're going to build that shovel. Build a shovel. We did not build a shovel. We take 2 determination tokens and we draw an adventure card. This is not good. Howling in the bushes. While working, we hear some howling coming from the bushes, and after a while the predator goes away. So we're going to shuffle this into the deck. And at some point that predator may or may not come back. Alright. So we did not build the shovel. I should have done a guarantee on that. Alright, which means we don't get to separate the fire. Things are not looking good for our castaways now. Okay, that will then take us to the end of the action phase. And into the weather phase. Here comes the weather dice. Still rolling just 1 orange dice. And 1 rain cloud. So from 1 rain cloud we have to discard 1 food and 1 wood. Alright, that was 1 food and 1 wood. Because we had to stay warm, we had to eat our food and burn the wood in order to stay healthy in the rain. Alright, let's pull Friday back into the night phase. While we won't take a wound from sleeping in the open air, we will take a wound, 2 wounds, because we have no food to eat. Alright, then. Oh, and then we burned our... Did I turn the 2? I need to turn in the other 2 wood because we built our shelter. So we actually have no more wood now here available to us. Alright. And that's everything, and that should take us into round 6. Alright, into round 6. We start off with the event phase. It says we put a gray marker on the production cards. It's already one there. There's a heavy rain coming. And so we're going to add a rain token to the weather space. So we at least have one rain cloud guaranteed, not to mention a whole bunch of others. This may be the last turn, so I'm going to go ahead and play it through. I was thinking about stopping at this event phase, but I think we'll go ahead and play through the whole thing, because I think we're not going to make it through the rest of the game at this point. Things are going pretty bad. Okay, so we'll push this down here. Because I wasn't able to get rid of the Thunderstorm card, we're going to push off Raging River, which means there's no production phase this round, which means no food. And we weren't getting any wood because that wood was still covered. Alright, I'm going to do a backtrack real quick. I'm going to use my barrel, and I'll put a marker here on the top part, give myself back a wound. And then I think, and all I could try and do is get that shovel again. Alright, this time we're just going to go ahead and get this taken care of. It's just not going to matter. I don't think it's going to matter at this point. We'll go ahead and go through this phase real quick. And so here we go. Let's see, we have guaranteed to build a shovel. So we'll take the shovel. And now because we have the shovel, we will be able to complete this one. So we'll take this off, and that removes this card and keeps this from resolving again. So we'll be in fairly good shape next turn, but I don't know if we're even going to survive through the night. So we'll see. We'll put those back. That's it for the event phase. So now to the night phase. I'm going to roll the dice here one more time. Got rain cloud plus the one down here is 2 rain clouds. It means we have to discard 2 wood and 2 food, which we have neither. So we're going to take 4 wounds. 1, 2, we'll move that down. 1, 3, 4, we are dead. And that is how you play Robinson Crusoe. Let's go back to the chair. Alright, well, that did not go quite the way I planned it. I thought we'd be in there for 12 turns, or at least 11, and we barely made it 6. Well, hopefully you enjoyed Robinson Crusoe, learned how to play it, got some rules down. If you like it, go check out Z-Man Games and pick a copy up for yourself. As for us, we'll be here back again in a couple of days, a few weeks, with the rules for another game. I think we can do Eldritch Horror. And until then, you can follow us on Facebook, you can like us on Twitter, you can go to that website that gets updated once every blue moon. You can go check out Z-Man Games' website. Their website gets updated a little bit more frequently and probably has a few more games than mine does listed on it. If you want to check out our archive of videos or subscribe to our channel, it's Storm Games on YouTube. And in the meantime, we'll go ahead and close out, and we'll catch you next time. So, thanks for watching. Piper, you want to say goodbye? Close enough. Take care.